P1 started about 30 years ago, a little bit over 30 years ago. And it actually started out of a situation we had. The founding chairman and I lost our business and were homeless for about 2.5 years. In those 2.5 years, we lived in about 13 different places. We were moving from one place to the other. So due to that experience, when the vision for P1 came, we decided that we're not going to solve this problem just for us. We're going to also solve it for others. So really, the vision of P1 Group is to make home ownership dream a reality for as many people as possible.
Thank you. And a follow-up question to that. You see, out there's a misconception about the structure of the P1 Group. Those that are related to the P1 Group understand the aspect of the group and the affiliates. But a whole lot of others, we do not understand. Some think that's why P1 this, P1 that. Please, can you just explain to us?
Okay, good. That's a very good question to ask at this point. I would say 3 years into the startup of P1, we began to empower people. P1 is actually a very great empowerment organization. People know us with real estate, but there is another aspect of P1 that is not so known, and that is the empowerment aspect of it. We began to empower other people. We began to set up the same business with other people. So today we have so many companies in the P1 Group, all doing the same thing, real estate. I know that in future there may be others doing other things, but for now, so far, all we have are people doing the same thing, the real estate business. So the first affiliate company, like Mr. Austin called it, was set up in 2015, precisely on the 1st of July, 2015. The first affiliate company, known as P1 Edge, began. And in 2017, so many others came in quick succession. Today, there are about 75 companies in the P1 Group. So you can hear names like P1 Edge, P1 Plus, P1 Premium, P1 Heaven, P1 Legend.
That brings me to the crux of the matter. And this is a very controversial issue. This question I'm going to ask there in two parts. And this is one of the most controversial issues out there, both in the social media and physically. And a lot of people will really want to know. Now, this controversy on the social media actually started with SEC, and then later it went ahead to other acquisitions about it and all that. So, quickly, can you tell us why the SEC called P1 a Ponzi scheme and what it's all about?
Actually, in 2018, a client of ours came. He had a property he bought with the group and he wanted to sell. And afterwards, he also wanted to buy more to sell later. And that is how the program we call Buy to Sell started. In Buy to Sell, people buy real estate from us and also give us a mandate to resell for them because we're in the real estate business. So somebody may say we are selling and reselling because people ask us to resell for them. People come and buy and also ask us to resell for them. I was somewhere outside the country at the time, a company called CBEX. A problem broke out with a company called CBEX. Not long after that, of course, that was something very troubling because a lot of Nigerians had put money into it and we're not getting their money back. So, of course, SEC, being the regulatory authority in Nigeria that checkmate anything to do with capital, must have come across a P1 flyer about buy to sell and reached out to the company that was doing it. So that's what really started it all. But in all truthfulness, we're in the business of selling land. I don't think there's any company in Nigeria that has as much landed estates than P1 Group. When you think that there are 75 companies in P1, even if each of them has 4 properties in the market, that's 75 times, that's about 300, right? Yeah, because that is the business every one of these companies is doing. You understand? So it's not difficult to see our flyers all over the place. But that was what happened. That was what attracted the attention of SEC. But I also think that we have submitted everything they asked us to submit. And in all truthfulness, I don't think it is. I can call P1 a Ponzi. P1 Group, the 75 companies that make up the group, have at least 75 offices. in Nigeria, because each of these companies have an office. Also, some of them have up to 5 offices. P1 Homes, the company that started it all, has offices in practically all the states of Nigeria. You cannot see a company doing Ponzi in that kind of physical presence all over. We have an office in almost every state in Nigeria. Maybe just 2 or 3 or 4 that we're not in. But I know we're in at least 32 states in Nigeria. And in Abuja also, that makes it 33. And some of these companies in P1 have offices in other states. So truly, P1 has office physical presence in not less than 150 locations in Nigeria. Yes, not less than 150 locations in Nigeria.
No way, no client should be neglected in answering their issues.
That's ridiculous. P1 Royal is housed in its own office, right?
Sure, in Lekki Phase 1.
Yes. So P1 Royal owns that property in Lekki Phase 1. Will you sell receipt to somebody that can easily find you to where you're?
Not at all.
P1 is not selling receipt at all. We have estates where people are already living in. The first thing you get when you buy a property is receipt, right? That's the first thing. The first acknowledgement is a receipt shows you bought something, right? Yeah, so P1 cannot be selling receipt. It's not possible. We have estates where people are already living in. I don't know if you can show some of them out there. We have estates where people are already living in. We have in Ajayapata, we have in Abidjan GRA, we have in Beachwood Estate, we have in the same Ajayapata somewhere else. We have in Asaba, we have in Shongotedo, we have in Asaba right now. We're developing in Asaba as it is, and in so many other locations. So people cannot be selling with it. We sell real estate, but the first thing we issue to the buyer is a receipt.
Thank you so much. That's
I think that's the receipt that you get. Okay, so on the aspect of impact and growth, P1 has been over 13 years now. What are the challenges faced? What is the biggest challenge faced so far?
I would say that the biggest challenge we have faced is the challenge with the land owners, land sellers. We've had to at times pay 2 times, 3 times for an estate, especially here in Lagos State, where land is owned by both women and men. We may finish selling an estate, finish paying for it, and somebody comes and says it's from the mother's side, and we start another round of negotiation again. In places like Anambra State or Imo State, we don't have such issues because land basically belongs to the men. So it's the men in the family that can, But here, in a place like Lagos State, we finish paying for land. Somebody comes from somewhere and says, my mother is from that place, and they sold without our knowledge, without our agreement, and then we begin a negotiation again. That has been the biggest problem we have. The problem with the same Omonilers who sell the properties to us.
Okay, thank you. I think that's quite notable. And P1 says P1 is an empowerment company. Yes, we know a lot of people have been empowered in so many areas. First, let's start. How many staff do you have in P1 as a group one? And then how many editors do you have, the group? And finally, what are some of the empowerment programs, or how has P1 empowered people?
That the founding chairman is more in land business, but I will call myself an empowerment officer, the main empowerment officer, the chief empowerment officer of the P1 group. You understand? We introduced what we call real estate network marketing into Nigeria. We're the first real estate network marketing company in the world. And one thing I will tell you about network marketing is that network marketing is an empowerment business. This is one model of business that anybody can start with practically zero capital.
True.
And become whatever you want to be, whatever you aspire to be. True. The only limit is the limit you set. That's the only limit in network marketing. So in 2012, we introduced network marketing into real estate. Why? Because we used to see real estate agents fighting over commission a lot, and we didn't want that. We wanted to solve problems. So we introduced network marketing into real estate, and we pay commission in multi-level, because that is the multi-level marketing system. Since this business started, by the way, I'm the first staff of PWAN, the very first staff of PWAN, the very first managing director, also the first group managing director. I've handed over to another group managing director now since PWAN started, I think I will say we've empowered over 1 million people. And I will explain. We have over 1,000 staff directly working in PWAN. 5 relatives each. That's already 5 million. That's already 5,000. 5,000. Yeah, 5,000, not 5. And then we have over 300,000 independent marketers. Over 300,000 independent marketers. Each of them have 5 people attached to them. They're talking about 1.5 million people that benefit from these organizations through this, directly or indirectly. And then we have so many businesses we patronize. Because every one of us, we eat food, we buy shoes, we buy clothes, we pay rent, we buy fuel, we buy diesel, we pay NEPA bills. So indirectly, this organization is impacting over 5 million people in Nigeria. Indirectly. Yes, because if I buy a pair of shoes and the person that sold the shoe to me has a wife and children, that's already an extension of what PWAN is doing. Buy a dress, buy a ticket to travel, be it road ticket, be it air ticket, whatever. The multiple impact of what we are doing in PWAN is so far-reaching, and it's not just within Nigeria. There are people outside Nigeria who also earn their living through this organization.
It's really an empowerment.
Yes. So that's why I call it the greatest empowerment movement out of Nigeria, out of Africa even. That's what I call PWAN Group, the greatest empowerment movement out of. There is no empowerment movement like PWAN right now. So let me tell you something. In the next 1 year, I do not expect PWAN to have less than 1 million independent marketers. Because if each of these 300,000 even bring in 5 into the organization, that is 1.5 million. And you can become what we call a PWAN independent marketer for free. So the opportunity to earn a living through PWAN is so enormous. And it's not limited to only educated people. It is in PWAN you see a PhD holder sitting side by side a market woman doing real estate. Today you can see so many people, both those that are educated and uneducated, calling themselves realtors because of what PWAN started.
That's why actually it's whatever happens one is new. Because both recharge car sellers, motorbikes, sometimes I go on the road, I see bike men wearing the P1 cap, people selling pure tap,
t-shirts as well.
pure tap, wearing the P1 shirt and P1 cap. That's why whatever happens with P1, it always goes back. Well,
how have you been able to manage these companies, global firms?
Now, before PWAN started, I read a book by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. And in that book, they said something that caught my attention. They said they delegate to the point of abdication is mostly associated with king. When they abdicate the throne, that they abandon the throne or they leave the throne, they say they delegate to the point of abdication. Delegation is one aspect of leadership that I consider very important. No single human being is going to live forever at all. And no single human being has the capacity to do everything the way he is feeling. You must delegate to others to do. You must delegate to others to do. I remember when we first started the affiliate system in PWAN, and we had a training, and there was a man from Springbank who came to take one of those trainings. Then we were just about 12 companies in the group. And he was just amazed with what was going on. And he asked, how did this come about? And I remember I answered it in Igbo. Allah told somebody there to interpret. I said to him, na anyị na-azụ combine. Anyị na-azụ combine. So I remember those days, they used to jokingly call people and say combine. Anyị na-azụ combine. Yes, combined business is something that is very common in Igbo land, especially in my place. I come from a Nnewi local government area. And my people, mostly a lot of them are traders, businessmen. But they are businessmen with a lot of wisdom. You will see one person in the city come back home, pick up 5 children, take them to the city, train them, and set them up. That's the one we know, the apprentice. Yeah. That's the one we know. But there's another aspect of that, that is the combined business, where a man will finish training somebody, set up the same business, and they own it 50-50. So that's what has been happening in PWAN. We've been setting up companies on that basis, and the companies we set up are also setting up others. And I believe that in the not too distant future, so many others will be set up. So we feel that that model, that system, a lot of people in Nigeria will be empowered. And as they're empowered, they will empower others. And there is no way you can do it without delegate. So I've been able to, when I was group MD, I used to say I'm nicely supported by a whole lot of people. We have a managing director for every company. They have executive directors supporting them, and they have a team of staff supporting them. You understand? So what I do mostly is just what I would call oversight. Today we have a strong board structure. The founding chairman is no longer the chairman right now. We have an executive chairman in the group. We have an executive vice chairman. We have the group managing director who is presently in acting capacity, but will come into full capacity very soon. Then we have a whole lot of other group executive directors, and we also have a lot of managing directors in different types of the business.
Independent athlete, about how PWAN started, talked about
empowerment,
visions, online, talked about empowerment. Let's talk about the future, the plan for the future. What should people, what should we, what should the world expect in the next 5 years?
Okay, I was expecting you to also ask me questions about the things going on the internet right now. Because that's the very
yes, we are actually going to go. We are going to go to that.
Okay, good.
We're going to go to that.
So yeah, you want me to talk about the future?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, I believe in structure.
Okay.
I also believe in systems. You understand? When God created the world.
Also, quickly, if you still want to...
I'll get there. Since you're going to ask, I'll get there. Yeah. When God created the world, the most important thing God did for us is to put system in place. In the body system, for instance, we have the reproductive system, we have the respiratory, we have others. So as long as the system is in place and the system is working, the future of any organization is guaranteed, except certain situations. I used to tell people, I've been in real estate now for 13 years, but I tell people that to invest in real estate is good, but to invest in people is better. For as long as we keep on investing in people, which we are quite great on in PWAN Group, we keep on training, even when challenges come, we train again. I understand that the group just finished a training last week that involved all the some of the managing directors that were able to make it, and the executive directors and some key staff. So for as long as we have that system in place, when things arise, they will be able to deal with it. That's number one. Number two, the structure is very important. And once there's a structure in place, the people there will be able to follow a set way of doing things and find solution to anything that may arise. But coming to the spread of PWAN, which is very close, very dear to my heart even now, I really strongly believe in empowerment. And one thing I told every managing director, even as I'm preparing to leave office fully, is that every managing director must empower others. Every MD. Even as we have some managing directors today, if you want, I expect each and every one of them to empower at least some people, not too distant.
Thank you very much.
And it's very important that we begin to make our people understand this something in PWAN. So whenever they say PWAN, they just think it is not one. It's something we started, we the founders started with one, and there were 74 others or 75 others, all of them doing real estate in their different ways. Yes. Dependently and independent. So we're a group. We're a family. And that family structure is very important to all of us. And we try as much as possible to keep it like that.
Thank you very much. So to talk about critics online, social media, what's going on, a lot of people are commenting and saying a whole lot of things. Some are saying, are they a real estate company? What are they doing? Is it empowerment or real estate? Which one are they doing? So there are a lot of critics and a lot of speculations about this news. So what is your take on it? What message do you have for them?
We are both a real estate company and an empowerment company. We are both, I repeat, a real estate company and an empowerment company. As we empower people and empower others, we get closer to solving even the issues we have in our various families. Now, for all the things that have been going on in the last few weeks, I know that things like that are bound to happen in this business. It should not be unexpected because we are many companies. So what it means that one company has many issues, every other company practically has an issue because we all go by the same thing. And I also want to say at this point that I'm not really angry with who started this or what is going on. I see it as an opportunity to look inward and resolve issues. You understand? And resolve issues. So I want to use this opportunity to even say thank you to Scott Iguma. Scott, I want to say big thank you to you for what you started and what you are doing. Okay? It is the only somebody who is a friend or a brother, somebody that is not doing well.
Yeah, to
that will tell the person you are not doing well. Most people will probably keep quiet and be criticizing. You won't publish with what you believe is the problem we have. And I want to say we are grateful because every single one of us, every single one of the companies involved in this issue is determined to put an end to it, to solve it all. I remember before Scott came on, I had observed what was going on. We have had complaints from clients, yes, that complain about allocation and some other things. And I remember that in the first monthly address I had, I think that was in April 1 or May 1. I don't know. It's April 1. I told our marketers, but they were the ones mostly at the forefront of things. I told our marketers to give us 2 years. I told them to give us till March 2027. That by March 2027, every issue of allocation or documentation or whatever will be taken care of. I am still on that myself because I want this issue to be over even before then. So I still say March 2027. And why do I say so? There are some properties we sold that are very far away inside various beaches. I want to assure you, I want you to believe me when I say so. Nobody's going to be able to build a house there, even in the next 5-10 years. Nobody's going to be able to build a house like right inside the Lorongbe, Odeomi, and some other places like that. It is our responsibility to take charge of all those properties until there is more development there. And I also want to say that before they bought these properties, for those of them that came for inspection, they saw it of those properties. But after this outcry, every company in the group, whether the land is far or not, have made a decision that before March 26, all these will be a thing of the past. So even though I asked for 2 years, from April 25 to March 27, the various managing directors came to me and said, they call me Mama. They came to me and said, Mama, before March, before the next convention of PWAN, before the next anniversary of PWAN group, all these will be sorted out. And all of them are on it. So once more, I want to thank Scott. I wish one day I will meet him and I will also thank him. At the same time, I want to assure all our clients that they won't even have to wait until March 2020. That before March 2026, every issue of allocation will be taken care of, or almost completely taken care of. All the managing directors, they are determined to make sure that these issues are resolved. So please, I want to use this opportunity to reach out to all clients and their relations that all these things will be taken care of. We've started sending out messages to everybody, scheduling them for allocation. If you have not been called yet, you'll be called any moment soon. So please bear with us. PWAN means well. A lot of our clients will attest to that. A lot of our PBOs, a lot of our marketers will attest to that also. And I'm giving everybody my assurance